If you've ever thought, I should write a book someday, you are in the right place. Hi, I am Stacey Ennis. I'm a book strategist, a book coach, and I deeply believe that everyone has a book inside of them, and that includes you. Today, I'm going to talk about 6 essential steps that you can use to turn that idea, that story, that mission, that message into a book. So let's get started. Step one is to clarify your big vision. Now, I don't mean just loosely thinking about what you want to do and the impact you want to have. I mean actually setting aside time. I usually recommend about 1 to 2 hours to think deeply about your life. And this is really important because when you're crafting your book, you want to align that book with your big vision. You want to create a book that will help you get to that big vision. Now, I have a guide that can help you with this. It's a life visioning guide. I will be sure to link to this in the description so you can use that to get started on this step. Step two is to define your book concept. Now, this is not just your book topic. This isn't, let's say, I want to write a book on leadership. This is a thoroughly explored, clearly articulated concept for your book. It includes your core message, it includes your high level overview, your one reader that's representative of your larger reader group. It includes any considerations that you want while you're writing the book, any research you want to reference, high level overview of your book. And again, that should connect with your big vision for impact. There should be a really clear line between those two things. Step three is to embrace the transformative journey of authorhood. This is really important because you are writing a book, but you're also becoming an author. You will be embarking on a journey that can truly be one of the most impactful, transformative of your life, or not. If you choose to rush through this, to lean on AI tools, for example, to write your book, you're robbing yourself. You are missing an opportunity to develop your thought, to make connections, to clarify your story, and to build confidence in showing up fully on the other side when you get to claim author status. It really can be a beautiful, meaningful process, but you also have to make a decision to engage fully in that transformative journey. Step four is to build an aligned author platform. Such an important step. A lot of authors sort of forget about this until they're about ready to release their books. And then they're like, oh, shoot, I don't have anybody to tell about this. Of course, other than your friends, your family, your colleagues, your professional network. Authors don't often put in the time in early before the launch of their book. And by before, I mean, as early as possible, but certainly 6 months at least before the release of their book to build their email list, build their social platform. This doesn't have to look like you showing up everywhere. In fact, it's better to pick a platform where you can show up consistently, you know your readers will be, and to really go for it on that platform. So, as an example, if you know your readers are on YouTube, maybe you start a YouTube channel. And if you love video, you like being in front of video, great option for you. If you are, let's say, working in professional services and you want to reach a niche professional audience, I would be on LinkedIn most likely. That's where you feel comfortable, let's say. That's where you feel like you can be consistent. Do that. A lot of authors are also starting Substacks. This is a great place to write more long form, to develop that writing skill as you're writing your book. So pick your platform and lean into it. And the other piece here is you do want to make sure that your platform that you're building connects with the same readers who will be reading your book. Otherwise, you're building in a direction that will not support the launch of your book and your bigger mission connected to your book. Step five is to publish with purpose. I meet a lot of aspiring authors who really desire to go the traditional route, and I completely understand that. Of course, it's really exciting to have a publisher accept your book, to put the people power and the money behind it to get that book out in the world. And a lot of authors find that the timeline to publication for a traditional book doesn't necessarily align with their goals. It can take upwards of 2 to 3 years. And that's with all of the things that are involved in traditional publishing. And you also don't know for sure if you will get that book to market. So you really need to think about your publishing route. Are you going to pursue traditional? Will you self publish? Will you do hybrid, which is kind of in between those two options? And as you're selecting a publishing pathway, or let's say a publishing partner, if you are doing assisted self publishing, you're working with somebody to support you in that self publishing process, or you're working with a hybrid publisher, make sure they're aligned. Make sure that you share values and make sure that you are approaching that process with as much intention and attention as you put into the writing process. I do see a lot of authors shrink back when they get close to publication date. I think some of that is honestly related to fatigue. They've put in a lot of time and energy, maybe haven't had the coaching around preserving their energy. And so they get to that end line and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to market it now. So I want you to be prepared for that. But the other piece of it, I think, is fear, right? You've created something that you're really proud of, you've worked hard on, and now you're about to share it. So my hope for you is that as you go through this publication process, you take a route that feels aligned for you and you show up fully because your book deserves it and your impact matters. Step 6 is to step into your potential. After you have gone through this incredible journey of authorhood and your book is out in the world, now it's time to use that as a door opener, as a way to connect with people, and to really step into that purpose that drove this whole thing in the beginning. So, what that means is that this book should become a tool for you. It should be something you send to people that you want to make connections with. It should be included in speaking proposals that you send to organizations. It should be integrated into how you work and how you teach. It should become, as I normally describe it, fertile soil from which other things can grow in your business. And you have to put the effort and attention and intention into integrating that book into your bigger purpose. And you need to show up fully in this next stage of your impact and influence. So there you have it. There are 6 ways that you can turn your expertise, your idea, your story, your message into a book. I hope this was really helpful. As I mentioned, I have a free life visioning guide that I will put in the show notes for you, as well as another resource called 10 Things You Must Know Before You Write Your Nonfiction Book. I hope these are hugely beneficial for you as you embark on your author journey or continue on it if you are already on the way to authorhood. I also have an author platform guide. I mentioned building your platform. This will help you understand all of the key steps you need to take to begin building and advance your author platform. I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to drop questions in the comments. I'd also love to hear about the book you're working on. So leave me a comment and do be sure to subscribe because you want future content, you want future inspiration and education on your author journey. And I have lots of it coming. I am so glad to be with you today. Thanks for joining me and go write that book.